Between 1935 and 1937, trails, buildings, and outdoor exhibits were built in the ginkgo forest by the raw young muscle power of the Civilian Conservation Corps. President Franklin Roosevelt had established the Corps just after taking office as a way of providing jobs for young men in the grim days of the Depression. Most recruits came from families already on assistance. Every month on payday, the government automatically sent 80% of their paychecks straight to their parents at home.
The enrollees of Company 3224 are fast becoming friendly to their new home at Camp Ginkgo. Sagebrush, rattlesnakes, lava cliffs, and petrified logs were all strange to them at first when they arrived from New York. Now they are digging out the stone logs, catching the rattlesnakes, viewing the lava cliffs daily, and walking among the sage. Fort Lewis District Herald, 1936.
The three Sea Boys dug ditches, strung electrical wires, and built 5 handsome buildings out of hand-cut native stone, 2 caretakers' houses, 2 stout garages, and a small museum, later expanded into today's interpretive center, high above the Columbia River. In their spare time, they polished gemstones, published their own camp newspaper, and danced with the girls in Ellensburg. For young enrollees far from home, the Corps offered more than a paycheck. It offered them lessons in life.
Remember volunteering to go to the Ginkgo Petrified forest and the dreams we had of big towering trees petrified, and how disgusted we felt when we found that they were all buried. The swims we used to take in the Columbia, the raft we built and floated down the river on, the dust storms, and how when we ate outside, that inch of mud used to be in our coffee. Ossie Curtis, Company 935.
The Civilian Conservation Corps also built a network of desert hiking trails. This mile-and-a-half interpretive trail leads to trees still embedded in lava, exactly as they were found. Stone enclosures with steel screens, also built by the Corps, protect the fossils from vandals and overeager collectors. Midway along the interpretive trail lies one rare petrified specimen of the ancient ginkgo tree. Among other treasures on this trail are a purple and blue Douglas fir log, gorgeously stained by the presence of manganese oxide, and fossilized spruce dyed orange and rusty red by iron oxide. It's easy to see why petrified wood, singular in its beauty, so different from other stones, has been named the official state gem of Washington. A longer loop takes hikers further into the Sagebrush Hills. This is the wide, high desert of the American West, home to deer and coyote, soaring hawks and bald eagles, sun-basking lizards and snakes. These slopes are scorched by the summer sun, whipped by cold winds in winter, and yet the land teems with life. In spring, the hills around Vantage explode with glorious soft desert flowers. Signs of the geological past are everywhere in the park. Alongside both the interpretive trail and the old Vantage Highway, you can see the floor of the ancient lake where thousands of trees were trapped. Above lies the layer of pillowed basalt and the yellow-brown rime called pelagonite that formed when boiling lava plunged into the waiting lake. This granite boulder, an oddity standing all by itself in a land of volcanic basalt, hitchhiked here on an iceberg during the Ice Age floods. When the ice ran aground and melted away, the boulder was left behind. In the 1930s, the Civilian Conservation Corps built a trail to the river's edge so visitors could view yet another mystery in the park. At some point in the shadowy past, native peoples worked a series of puzzling petroglyphs into the dark basalt columns along the Columbia River. Many questions remain about just what they mean or who made them, sometime between 200 and 10,000 years ago. When Wanapum Dam was built nearby in 1964, the rising waters of Wanapum Lake covered the site of these images, along with the old Vantage Town site and the empty 3C camp. But before the dam was completed, work crews managed to salvage some of the petroglyphs and move them safely to higher ground next to the Clifftop Museum. Today, the wide-open landscape of central Washington seems timeless in its rough beauty, marred by few roads and fences, unchanged since the dawn of time. In truth, the earth changes constantly. Mountains rise up and crumble away. Waterfalls fade into dust. Lakes come and go and come again. Forests give way to dry desert. And sometimes, when conditions are right, wooden trees turn to stone.